framed by two of my life experiences. One of them is practicing law for about 4.5 years with a group called Southern Prisoners Defense Committee. And we really brought a lot of class action lawsuits in southern states. Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana were the three states that I practiced in and brought some of the very first lawsuits in the South challenging conditions of confinement for women. And so I'll talk, and I also did death penalty work. So my remarks are shaped by that work, the fact that the criminal justice system at its very root, at its very heart, is biased, is anti-prisoner, anti-black, and anti-family. And so my remarks will be shaped by that. And then my remarks are shaped by the last 23 years where I've worked in community as a frontline practitioner, working with children of incarcerated parents, their families, and our community to really try and support children while their parents are incarcerated. And what I've learned for that is that we in so many ways feel that prison is the end place for a whole group of black and brown folks in our society. And not only do we as a society say lock them up and throw away the key, we also say, well, you might as well throw away the key on their family because their kids are probably headed there too. And so I think those two pieces frame the comments that I want to make today. And I particularly want to talk a little bit about what we've accepted. And when I am speaking of we now, I mean we as people of moral conscience, we as African Americans, we as the church, things that we have accepted. And one of the things that I think that we have accepted is that this notion of law and order is clearly an important one and one that we support at all costs. And you say, well, wait a minute, law and order, that seems good. Yes, we need a society where people who break into your home or into your car are held accountable, no question. But what we fail to do, though, is figure out that not only do we want safe communities, we need just communities. And we've allowed that justice piece to somehow get ripped out of that law and order equation. And we really start with the equation around law and order at the very early stages of young people's lives. In our schools, we have this whole notion of the zero tolerance. Began in '94 around the gun safety laws, and then we took it and expanded it so that in many ways our children go to school and that is their first introduction to the criminal justice system. We see that they, particularly black and brown kids, get expelled, suspended, sent to the principal's office, and their actions, sometimes their immature behavior, ends up in a criminal enterprise or a criminal situation developing. In Florida, think about the 20,000 children for whom they leave school and they go directly into the jails and the prisons. There is no middle point for them. They were in school, they may have been slow in the line, they may have acted out, they may have even like the 5-year-old Latino boy who threw a temper tantrum, they may have done that and left school shackled and went directly to jail. And so part of what we've decided is that we really think law and order is important and we're going to support it at all costs, even when sometimes the price that is being paid is arbitrary and it's too high. The second thing that we've sort of accepted is the whole notion of what I call the smart ones succeed and the rest of them, oh well. And I believe that's true because we have